we've had 3 nights of amazing rain, and look at these Mexican titonias. They just like perked up. They were like falling downward, and as soon as we got a good rain, they like perked up fast. And look at that, this guy here at the top is probably 2 to 3 foot higher than than it was just 3 days ago. However, there is no sign of it blooming. So this is year 2, no bloom so far. Are we actually going to ever see the yellow sunflowers, the flowers? You can see here in my little shady location, everything's perked up. The comfrey's perked up. The Barbados cherries are perked up. This Elaeagnus is perked up again. It was kind of looking sad. Got some new growth on this little mulberry there. The chaya, is looking vigorous and strong and got new leaves coming out. I wish this rain would have started like 3 weeks prior, because this avocado, look, the bark and the trunk is just shriveling. And is there any way to save it now? Is it too late? Very possible. While this papaya still is kind of drooping a little bit from the scorching heat, I can tell it's happier than it was 3 or 4 days ago, and it's definitely still blooming there, and it's probably going to continue to bloom for a while. There are a lot of bloom heads and stuff. I didn't even notice this before, but the chaya that was killed back to the ground last winter has got 2 shoots up out of the top now, looking nice. New leaf there, fixing to bloom too. Check this out, more mushrooms growing here on our own version of magic soil, creating that soil without animal waste, just using kitchen scraps, carbon, even we put some stink water logs in this guy this on round 2, and some 100% cotton clothing that was just worn out. We're going to see, in a couple months if all that just is gone. We haven't checked out this grafted pecan in a while, and it's still looking good. I'm very hopeful that this guy's going to survive and hopefully in the coming years thrive, because pecan seedlings pop up everywhere. Even when I plant a pecan tree, whatever you want to call it, grafted, expensive, I randomly put it where these other seedlings grow. They usually die. This guy looks like it might actually make it, and I don't know what causes that to happen when they're everywhere. When the seeds come up everywhere, and you can't hardly kill a pecan seedling. You can cut it down 1,000 times, but as soon as you're done mowing, that thing shoots a new sprout up. Transplanting is a different subject, because there's a high fatality rate. As long as those roots aren't disturbed, those seedlings just are invincible, it seems. So let's look at this Duncan grapefruit here that's been struggling, and it's still struggling, you can tell. But with 3 nights of rain, it's just a little bit less droopy than it has been. And I've been putting a little bit of water from a bucket in here. I've been watering this when I'm out here. I hope that we'll get enough rain to park it up and make it healthy, but it could go either way at this point in time. I think I'm going to nickname pineapple guavas as like the resurrection fern of the fruit world. They get no rain like the resurrection fern. They usually live on trees and stuff, and they look like they're dead, and then they get rain and they perk up and they look alive. They dry out a little bit, dead again. And that seems to be what happens with pineapple guavas. The sugar bell is looking good again. It's been struggling with those pineapple guavas with the Duncan grapefruit and everything. And 3 days of rain, it finally looks healthy again. This Brazos bell avocado is kind of weeping, kind of droopy, kind of alive. It can go anywhere at this point. Remember, this is a raised bed that we created in the wettest part of our property. So this is usually in water, all this area here, 6-8 months out of the year. And it's looking better than the other 2 avocados that are in the full sun and higher up portion in raised bed number 1 and 2. But let's hope everything survives. 1's better than 0, 2's better than 1, right? This other Duncan grapefruit has looked wonderful since I planted it, and it's still looking wonderful now. Definitely right there close to that avocado where it's like one of the wettest parts of our property in a raised bed. Let's look at a few things we haven't looked at in a while. This pomelo here in the raised bed under oak canopies, and you know, probably the second or third wettest area in my property is doing amazingly well. This mini Oletangelo in that kind of pine totem raised bed, also under the same canopy as the oak tree, is doing really good. We have our blood orange, which has been struggling and is still struggling. You know, well, is it the density of the soil and materials there, wood material, carbon and stuff, just not being dense enough? Is it drying out too soon? And I have added some like more guinea pig bedding and a lot of leaves and a variety of other stuff. I think even more potting soil and stuff around it over the last month or so, trying to make it happy. And 3 days of rain, yeah, it looks happier than it did 3 days ago, but it's still struggling. I wonder if we have so much canopy area here that it's just blocking a lot of the rain from coming directly down into the roots. But look at that, it looks wet. Everything looks wet here. Despite our bananas blooming, it's just too late in the year to ripen bananas. Lastly, we're trying again with one of those twisted and gnarled cactuses. The lady that I got the original cutting from, I think it started rooting, but it died, disappeared. This one's already got she rooted it for me. It's already got a new pad started. So there's a potential for 2 or more, you know, plants there. And, you know, a lot of the nurseries, they'll just cut these guys in you know, 3 or 4 parts. They'll dip them in ash, I guess, to dry them out. And then they'll root each pad into like 3 to 4 plants. Lastly, we have already started ripening some figs sporadically. You know, it's a miracle that all the green figs did not fall off in the drought. They just stayed the same size. And we ate 2 of them, I think, yesterday. Here's one here that'll be ripe in the next day or 2 probably. And there are a few ripe ones way up high. Most of them are still green. But we're going to end this garden vlog here. Take care, guys.